Hello, dear listener. Thank you so much for tuning in, as well as our viewer wherever you are. This is Kanele 97.7 FM. I'm your host, Stephen Nkoma, as well as my colleague, John Zayawan Mseteka. Just a few days ago, we gave you an update on some houses that were demolished in Muyabala village. And there were quite a lot of issues that were involved. We contacted Zambia police, and they also gave their side of the story. And remember, we had also spoken to the affected families there, and they have confirmed actually that they are under His Royal Highness Chief Mphamba of the Tumbuka speaking people here in Lundazi. We have taken a step further to engage His Royal Highness to find out how far this matter has gone, because Mr. Zimba is a subordinate or a subject to His Royal Highness. We are meeting His Royal Highness now to hear his side of the story. Your Royal Highness, thank you so much for according us an opportunity to speak with you. We know you have a busy schedule, but you have allowed to have a conversation with Kanele FM. We just wanted Temba to hear from you how you have received the information that your people in Muyabala village got their houses demolished by police officers and their team just a few days ago.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, listeners. This case, when I heard about it, because it was in court at first, and that it only reached as far as the court order, so that Mr. Zimba is evicted from his place. According to what I know, there is a difference between the map which you were given recently and the previous one, because the boundary used to be Mphamba River. That's the boundary. That's what I know.
Between your chiefdom and Chief
Kamalaza chiefdom. Usually the boundary of chiefdoms, they fall on rivers or streams. I'm surprised because that side, the way it is put on a dry place where on a place where it's not even a river, there's no river and so on. Previous was Mphamba River. So we contacted the people from Chipata through the PS and through Chiefs and Traditional Affairs. And those people came and they checked and they said they will come back when they saw some logistics, so that they revised the boundary between Kamalaza chiefdom and myself. So as it was like that, Mr. Zimba, before they came to conclusion that he should be evicted, he was supposed to be asked to see where he can settle, whether to remain in my chiefdom, then taken to a different place, or he was going to be in Kamalaza and pay allegiance to Chief Kamalaza. Now, the court order which was used, myself, I was not aware to say they are going to demolish the place. It was the very day they had demolished, I got a phone call around as far as 6 hours to say Mr. Zimba's house has been demolished and that he has been told to vacate the place. So I understand at first he was given 1 day. Then after that they said, okay, we've given you 5 days in which you can vacate. So when I got that report, I didn't just sit behind, I called the DC. The DC responded to say, let me talk to the officer commanding. She called the officer commanding, then the officer commanding found out about what had transpired. Then the officer commanding briefed the DC to say they are following the court order which was issued some time back. So then the DC called me and he told me. Then he said, then if what they have done, because they are supposed to be now, the Mr. Zimba's family is supposed to be assisted by the government through the DC being the chairperson of DMMU, so that they are assisted with that, whilst we are looking for other alternatives where it could be, it could settle. Then with the PS and the chiefs and traditional affairs, they said these people will come back to revisit the boundary between Pikamala's and myself, Chief Mphamba's boundary, so that they see exactly where that point where it belongs. So they are, as at now, they are looking for logistics so that they come back with the surveyors, and then I give them my group, either headmen or indunas, and also Chief Kamalaza should also give them his group, either indunas or the headmen, so that they go together with the surveyors as they did with Kapichira and Mphamba Chiefdom. With that one is okay. We are just waiting for them to call us, and at a certain place, not in this area, at a neutral place. Then we shall be called, Chief Kapichira and myself. Then they will do the same with Pikamalaza's boundary and my boundary, where we share the boundary, so that when they survey the area, they revisit the area, then later on they find the truth. Then later on they come to call us. Then they show us exactly where it's supposed to be, how it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Yes.
Your Royal Highness, we have been reliably informed that Mr. Zimba has not yet moved out of that place. He is still there, but the houses have been demolished. How is he surviving? Have you sent any delegation to check on him and the family?
I was briefed by the Induna yesterday. Then I called the DC. The DC told me that those people, Mr. Zimba and his family, escorted by Headman Muyabala, they should go to the office of the DC, then make an application to DMMU for assistance. Of course, they will first come to see me at the palace, then we'll see what I can do. Okay. Yes.
Maybe just a word to your subjects when it comes to issues of land, the way this one has been handled. There could be some other cases similar to this one, or even worse than this. What advice do you have for your people?
The advice I can have is that the only problem which we have as my subjects is that when the case has come up within that particular locality, then usually they have to come to us, to my palace. Then we go through that case. Whoever is not satisfied, he goes to court. First to a local court, then magistrates court, subordinate court. So what it is, we have some similar cases. We have a case at Masavisa, whereby Christopher Zimba is waiting for an appeal which he made to the subordinate court. We're just waiting for that. Christopher Zimba wrote himself a letter to say he is leaving his village, Masavisa, and go to another village, and also Mphamba Chiefdom is going out from there, and he wrote a letter and signed on his own. Nobody forced him to sign that letter or to write that letter. So after some time, then he came back to say, no, I've decided not to move out from this village. Then they started now differing with the headman and the subjects of that particular village. So they have been coming to the palace, we have been advising them, But Christopher Zimba does not listen. In fact, usually when the headman comes with the other subjects, him doesn't come to the palace. When it comes to court, that's when he goes to court. So this is how this case is now.
All right. Royal Highness would like to thank you.
At first, those people, Mr. Zimba, where he was sleeping, the Kamaraza subjects went there and cut trees around his house, around the surrounding. Then when that came up, when he reported to the police, then those people went and took those people who were cutting trees to the police. And this is how the case that started from there. So when the case was before the police, we were thinking that maybe they will be charged, those people who had cut trees on the surrounding of Mr. Zimba's house. Then we found that it was different. Then they just came to report to say we have been sued to the court. Because when the case has reached the police, it's either they process it and take it to the subordinate court, or end up just there at the police station and so resolving it amicably between the two parties. This is how it was. As for Mr. Zimba, the case was taken there, I think, by the subjects. Yes.
Your Royal Highness would like to thank you so much for hearing the side of your story as well in this matter, because a lot of people have shown concern on why it has been handled like this and how Mr. Zimba and his family will be helped. We would like to thank you so much for according Kanele FM an opportunity to speak with you.
Thank you so much, because I was also taken unaware when those people went there to demolish the house. I didn't know what was happening, so I got confused. So that's how I had to discuss to call the DC. This is how it was.
Okay.
Yes.
Na chikurukuru ndipo vaeskanana chikurukuru ineso chikurukuru chapereka kwa maganizo yao nangauli mailo ngapukira foni kuti bene Muyabala machero mukuza parasi kuti muzapereke report ifu kama ilo mukatuma wakanzu but so wose baraba ngaska bene Muyabala kuti machero biza kuti yose fu nangauli ndakalepo waka nayo sankono bintu byake bali nako binani chimene yake bwene cha kunitumira afumu kuno utumize kuno banguta akanere ife makuta kula kutika masuzo so kuti bakura kwa Muyabala bakaleke churuka kuti abantu ngaba mukauli kuno mukaningirire kukula mutenao mukalabisike mukapulike vamwe usikana nao machero wazakulipitira mu zamira nangauli naneso nasiku waliosikana kusikana kuna rodala so umaya hivyo tufinga umaya cheko yake waliosikana nabo parasi na mbele ni sawa kana balendu balinda jambo la mona tumesikana nao na hivyo vitu vikanangika kai kono niko kuli good source ndakumbirani kuno kumuzi kwa Muyabala ni fumu Mphamba ni forma ya Rundazi ndimola kumasuka aidimana Muyabala ni wala kupara nanga mona ntengo mali lino wafuna mchalichi kwamba nyoko sport so if possible zanati sitampokirera ni bani wakumasuka tumbana nao wakapia yeo
tuongere chomene isa kuza kwitu tatuwaka timanye vuchitika pano kwa pano na juzi paratikiza hapo kutoka hili katachitika sawa kufanyisikika na vyose vikendera so tatitimanye kutika Mphane hapo vagota sono mukaranku mwachitako ripoti kuma ofisi ya nyake zgoro zao zikutimbuni
yai naumo ise tilili pano nyumba mbweni mphene papa kwa kuti uko tingaruta tikakhale kuli Jesu chifukwa ndiko maro awo gamakoro witu vantu vangamanya kunena kuti apa vyachitika nthaura ka vangatondeka uli kuti vasezekeke mukati marogara kwena kulingana ngandise nalabisika kuti marogano para ine ningamanya kuti nifumeso pano naruta panyake mbwechi kung'anamula kuti marogano nganga bene kwena marogano gali mchiefdom ya Mphamba 6 kufuma kale vapapi vabadwira mwe muno tichili mwadunda ni marokare tikulimamo sono nanga uli vukuza kachitika ngani ivi waka vyachedwesa murandu wa kuti mphaka za mafumu na umosono wakuyoyera kuti atikati panke vamara chifukwa ichi fumu wali kupikwa mapu wakumanya napo wakumalira ndeneise kuno automatically kwa mzira kupisikana boza ni mwamembe ndiyo mphaka ya Themba 6 maro aga yivenge ya kutinja vene ndenene pano panke ni mayu ni samuki kwena chifukwa nilije kwa kuti uko ningaruta cha chifukwa ngumaya kuti ndiyo maro na badwiramu ise tukuzakaoneka ndene pano chani dabwisa kunena kuti vanitora nga kuti amwe foreigner nafuma kumaro ganyaki na kuzakaniphwanyira nyumba kwena ndicho cha ine ni citizenship wa Mzambia sono ichi bali kuchita for example iyo nimpa ninge former MP Lawrence Nyirenda tikabana nkhani hapo na wa Major Street awo bali kuruta yura dada yura mama walipara yura wakamanyisika kuti wafumepo kwena yura muntu nga wali kufumapo nga action walitorapo oro Mphamba 6 wanene kuti kamgumulirani nyumba wanda chitorepo ichicha so ine chaniziswa chomene kunena kuti iwo chomene kuti chomene vazakati sauske pano ngani umo chilili apa mbwenu ise tatangwanika mkati mzero sono ichi tikupempha chomene kunena kuti usangane boma lingawikako zeru kuti imapu na mubakuyoyera kuti tizakaone demarcation ya Phikamaraza na Mphamba para ise kuno tili kutora charo cha Phikamaraza mapu para mkoya kuti mwa Phikamaraza quite alright uyu muntu nde vakanireka ine kunena kuti chizakawekwa ine ni sarende kuti ipo ningakhala kuno cha ngakhali ku chiefdom itu kwena usangane ine nasizomerezga kuti nakhala kuno ipo nchiwe minichite sarenda ninga njira wose ni mafumu kwena chifukwa iwo afumu ise vandatiganzire cha chifukwa fumu kuti ni nja muntu yumoza cha ni nja muntu wali yose sono para bakuchita ndene ndikuti ise tabana bamkutika nkho vatisambizge ngembo vamusamunda para kale vakatumanga wakiza yura David Livingstone vakamanya kunena kuti vakaona ukaporo uwo ukava muno mu Africa panji ukaporo ukala muno mucharu kwena David Livingstone akiza kuzakamazga ukaporo wose uno ukava kuno kuti tabantu timanye Yehova sono nkumanya kuti tikumanya Yehova cha kwena ise tikulomba boma vatike kozero ndunandi ututwanangika umu vara vantu valikwiza pano tindaone na karata iyo kapara okwiza umanya kuti urongole chirongolero ise tatumika vikarata ni hivi muntu wachizomerezeka kuti amboneneso muli nalo oro ma ID tiwaone kuti ndiwo unenesko kwena palije chibali kuzana chocha kuiza wakakhumura nyumba mbwene awo wakuruta wali constitution ilichinja chifukwa ine nkumanya kuti wakatenge muntu para wakhala 5 10 years or 15 years that is a citizenship of Zambia munga musezga posho cha kwena uyu pano takhala almost now mutiri kuyambira kulima early 18th century tiri mphani tiri muno kale sono nguzizwa kunena kuti ine pakugona vanisauska ndipo so pano ichi nkhuyoya pamaso ga imu mwanyani pano ningasezgekapo cha para nkhufa nifwire pano nafwira mucharo cha gogo Mphamba 6 nifumengepo cha mpaka boma liyanayane likati masule pa marokano ndiwo chomene makani ine ningamanya kuti ndiyoye pepani mapapi
kuyambana nawo malo agamba
aba tikuyambana nawo mbamvura mali suzgo icho tikulimbana ni pano gano maro gano iwo vara bakunena kuti ngamwa muno mwa nani kani mwapika maraza kwena those people are beggars kukawa kupemba mbumba ya Muyabala ikatengwa kura yene iyo ikasoba pakulima kwiza kwa Muyabala adada nasoba pakulima na mulima nkuu lekani sono wakazomerezga kunena ipo iwe dumbuwane apo amvura mayi wakupenja maro korererako apo ulimengeko lekani aba bantu kulingana na ukhaliro uraukavako kale wakasangarupu ho la kuti wose walimengeko andi iyi press yikuchemeka kampwe panga uyo muntu wakawa nkoma kufuma mwachimwara nishitose kukaba chibanu ngatiri mwadunda ndiwo minda ino ikalimikanga cha ng'ombe kuno adunda wakakomera ko ng'ombe sono nangauli banyitu bara apo wakulima kuno nishiwose palije viza kuma 19 something uko aba bantu kuti bakiza ma 18 cha bali kiza ko muyu ma 19 60 something ndimo biziranga mphani apa oro kuti muwaone bamvura mayi balije maropa maro gose angathemba Mphamba wose abali apa palije maro ya kutipanyake umina pika mara zapacha nishiwose bali uko kwena chifukwa bantu bakayananira nanga munyane wafika nikane nawe wakumikako munyane wafika nikane nawe wena mwahuno walino lila burangete wakati dikako kuruwande cha dikiratu timufumie ko lino ise tavenecho tasanduka ngandi sewarendu ndimo ine ningayoyera ero uyo muntu wakiza pano kujajinga awo wakiza kuno ine nindawone kuti mukati munyumba mwa bantu mweka mwayambana leo lino ati mweka mukari mungajajingana nindaone kweya kwena ndimo chikachitikira aba bantu wose wakatona wose pachibale mirandu iyi naungo uko mkuruta kose tikupenja kuti nkhani ikayoyeke mwakwenerera Nyampemba orosono pano ningayoya ngufuma apo tikapemphanga kuti mutipe neutral court uko tingakayoyera nkhani Nyampemba wakayoya oro mchitenthene kulikose ko murutenge uko mwamuina yaikuemusa and for sure Nyamoyo was a sister kulinjani wakafuvu moyo provincial local court officer late ndiye akawa mdumbu wake akajejinganga ngani uko tikafuma kura tikatita dumba ngati kataya sonyengo kuti wanene kuti wakataya nyengo kwena awo bali kutaya nyengo panyake awo wakapuvisika bantu ngoti kuravisika kunena kuti court ndio likutangwa nsikata bantu chifukwa pa kufuma kura tachita appeal bakuti timtumira ninge mafoni ndipo mafoni namba wakatora or Simon iza kumanyikani kuti imwe tikadumbe ngani kwena wakachichita ichi cha ikawa ngakuti wakudeska waka sono mbwenu tabantu kuti tende mwakwenerera mbwetu kwenda makora cha vipupu vya paka para mafumu galiko ganthaura nthana mbwenu taravisika kuti tabantu tingazengana cha chifukwa fumu ikuzenga para ine nananga ngumanya kuti nkuruta kwa gogo Mphamba mankunizenga kwena usangane fumu ikunena rutaninge mkayamba nenge uyu muntu wakatumikanga uko oro awo tikavakora pakava vikunya vikuni vikavapa vakatema ndiwo ise tindapangeko chipongwe na vantu avacha kwena iwo nyengo zinandi zose vakupanga chipongwe na ise ndemba vitikazileka ku polisi kula izo vakiza nazo vanandi tikavapereka kula kwena tili kuona kuti nkhani na muvali kuizombeskera tikumanya cha leka ndikunena kuti ava vaboma vaike kozeru oro ni makoti usangane kuvenge vipupu ta vantu tizenganenge cha vatizengenge ya mvikaya. That's why nyengo na nyengo ndimo tiyambanira nenge ngacha yamba sono paka apo vakazenga visakasa pose apa vakazenga tichali na Janet Parukani tikaza kavachimbizgaso apa kwena vakupulika cha rizgu tikati tavakora vakanena kuti afumu ndio vatizia wena bolingo vara kuyoya ndire afumu ndio vatizia ndio vakutuma tirutaninge mukashitenge vyose hivi sono ise tikatora pona ngunjimoza cha tinda vachaicha tikapenjanga ka holy war tiyoyere pamuromo noti yokora na mtupi cha kwena vanyitu ava vakuchief domu ya pikamaraza iwo wakupenja kuti ni nkhondo parati kuyesikana na Tanyawo sono laviskani na umuiriri nyumba iyi muntu akayambe sono kupenja ngapenje chakurga ngapenje sopo lero niambe kumudinga ma bricks imwe nikwaniskenge nitayengevana na nikwaniskenge cha nitayengevana chifukwa vani wezgera kumasinya yikulingana ngani nyifwa iyi inthu ikuru ni nyifwa iyi muntu para orova kuti nyumba yapya ine nyumba za pyapo kalinga kabiri ayi nkumanya kuti ukachite recover chikutekinga nyengo maybe 10 years ndipo sono mutu ukakika ujulika kuti panyake sono nisangenge kwena sono apa misingo hino tili nayo kuti tikayambe sowani chitukuko tivenge mphani vati kangu saukira atuko kwena tikupempha kuti boma ngavati yanayanira kuti uyu mwana panji nga vangati pako pakugona vatipeko tumatenti tigonengeko panji tingaona koturo nyimbo yumalirapo mphepo yumalirapo pa umaliro muzamsora vitanda pa chifukwa cha kugona pawaro tuvana tudoko tunyake so para mungati pako pakugona tingacha kukondwereska mupaka vintu hivi vimare matenti ginu mzamkutora ngumanya kuzakafika pa nyengo iyi na umuvachitikira nthene boma ngumanya litivikenge kozeru nkhani iyi malenge ndimo ningapemphera
mwanguyo ya mazgo kuti muzomerenge ya kusamuka pano
iningazomera cha
sono para nanga boma yiza na matenti mbweva mpani maro ya nyake uko vaika matenti mzamuchikamu
iyayi vangaika kunyake cha ine mhempano pano vamkunika hu mhene papa
Iposo Muyabala kumurondea ni makora mwanguyo kuti imwe mukugona pempapa utaona na nyumba mpawaro pa mkugona
chomen
ilipo ndondomeko ene hiyo ikatoleka kumanyisika baboma kuti yai vyanichitikira vya kuti ndene iyo baboma watolapo runtha kuti basaoneko pano
baboma wakizamba honorable chiwoyera wakansera wachiwoyera wakiza pano wakenda 3 times kuzakaonapo ndipo wakalirizika mwana wane wapyo kanadi lekani nane ni chimbire lekani wakarutanga na kuyakamanyisika boma kuti ndio vyachitika hivi ndipo so ine nkayakaruta kukayakanjira mu ofisi ya DC kukayakadandaura nkhani kwena vakanzgora munga chitanga kalikose cha tiyana yanenge tikharenge pasi ndiyo zgoro vakanizgora ava agogo chikaya ndiwo tikagavana mukati vakaruta kusirika kwa Themba Mphamba 6 kukavamanyisika kuti vakharisha kumanya sono urendo uongwa mairo ngwa kunena kuti sono tose tamadoda tirute kwa Themba 6 vakapokere full report ndimo ningayoyera
ni Chihame Watson gogo wa muzi wa Muyabala umunkumanyira ine pandondomeko iyo tawantu tikukharamo muno Mzambia mulije slave. Uslave wakakana njuta kuti muntu wazgore munyaka akhale slave. Chifukwa chake wakatuma Moses kuti iwe rute ku Egypti ukawafumye wa Israeli mu ukapolo ura walimo wafumemo. Chuta ulukana malamulo awo wokhumba cha tiza sono muno mu Africa chiwayoya apa. Muzungu kufuma ku Scotland akaonanga ivo tikachitanga muno vambura kwenerera pamaso pa chiuta cha vakagwisananga kugwisana muntu kwene pakuti chiuta wanachisisi wakatuma hamba ku Africa David Livingstone ukaphwanya chitaganya cha vichi cha ukaporo vikachitika hivi. Then boma nayo ikungenamo kunena kuti kulije maslave muno Mzambia ai. That's why wedi ya muno Mzambia one nation yoti kusebezeswa. Kungana mula vichi chikondi chikwena kuwapo pa munyako na munyako. Manya uno tikugomezika tose muno Mzambia. Wali kukazikisika mafumu. Mafumu yukarengandiye chiuta wapano pacharo. Ukana tuheni tose wasunge makora wana wachiuta. Pamoza na hiyo. Ise tukulomba kuti mafumu ndio wapapi vitu. Gano maro gano. 1930. Wantu wachani mwa dunda. Paka wamizi ilingati yiviri. Dunda na marua. Posa paka wivi mizi. Uku ukawa rusunda, uku ukawa chijemu. Chikawa chipururu. Wene chifukwa chakuti wantu wakafumanga kuzakafika kuno wakapembananga ndipo wakapokererananga mpaka mizi yazengeka. Mafumu wakazikika venecho kwene icho ise lero tilinacho wapapi vitu wanda chisange cha kwene cha tisanga ise mwanya uno fumu za tizikokera awa batizigokera ise ine boundary ya mafumu nirije yose ni fumu yane Mungu manyira. Oro wawe mulozi, oro wawe mtonga, mai wawe mtunduuli. Para ni fumu ya ine. Kuna kuikapo vichi ulemu. Osati fumu ikanenge wantu. Osati tabantu tipaturanenge kuti ila ni fumu yako cha. Kulije boundary ya mafumu. Umutiriri. Kwene zimbaka izo boma ili kukazikisa. Wali kukazikisa madambo. Mafumu wa kupakana minda cha. Boza. Kose muno Mzambia. Mafumu wali kupakana madambo. Pari dambo pano. Hii ni lodi ya kuti wakwendamo waka wantu kutanguni. Yikupitirira lodi mpaka kumarawi. Basinga karambakai. Pepani waboma mwiza pano. Ise shiripo njakunena kuti watiphwanyira muzi wa Muyabala. Para boma lili kuzomerezga kuti ya ndicho tichite. Basi tagana kari kuta kasi boma ise latikana. Liwenge boma la kufikapo na ndondomeko za maramuro. Wanga shishita ishisha. Para wakawa naro lamuro. Mbai wakiza waka na maroko gao buri. No komapo yue fumapo. Osa mpanya nyumba. Mkuiza basi mpanya nyumba ya mundu. Viringa hivyo. Vanangika pa nyumba yake uli. Para boma ndimo ili kupangira maramuro constitution ndimo ili muno Mzambia. Kasi tirije boma. Lazikoka nganalo njigewega kwa njani kwa ise. Liwenge boma la kusunga wandu. Lingashita ishira muno ichi. Lingashita ishisha. Wakuna kudanga kulalisi hapo. Uyo mundu wakarenge uli pano. Wasungike nge uli pano. Ndipo njivichi icho chinga movwila. malo makuti wavwirike na boma, basi boma ndio zapanga msinjiro naonanga vintu. So parata bantu takomana watekeka ninja wakwiza na futi kofya bantu na kulizga futi puru bantu akafumanga kukaya kuwakanizwa kuti no kufikako kuno imwe cha para mufike ngeko tiza kushutani boma niwe kusanzera tikupemba umuwenecho wali kupangira nshito iyi tukupenja ovwiri boma litovwire ndiposo chiti kumbenga ise boma litilongole maboundary apo mafumu gali kupakana. Tukumanya kuti mafumu wose gali kupoka mapu ngatuleka umanyi chifukwa uli fumu yinyake ikuderera boma, chifukwa uli fumu yinyake ikusula fumu yinyake, chifukwa njuichi fumu ya kuchasefu idilinganenge na district ya Rundazi. Why? Shingawa poshi oro Rundazi ikadilingane na Chipangari, disi wakuchipangari akaruringe kula kuchipangari wakuchipangari oro wangaza akaruringa kuno. So byose ivi tukuwana wakakuti ili boma likwendesika uli pa Maramuro yai pa ivyo mayoya kutika vilipo vinyake au wanga bakorerako ine ndimo ngukorerako gano malo ano ni chifi domu ya chifi Mphamba 6 umo ine nkumanyira ndipo pakumanya kuti gano malo oro pakujula boma ya Rundazi wazungu kuti wakiza na magreda cha wakapemhaka afuma Mphamba tipaseni wantu wajure msewu wakuta kwa magodi wakafumira pa boma kulima kukagota mngamembe go basi ndipo pakalongorekera kuti kasi nipo Mphamba bashitachi baperera pele baba nao kura wakapitiriza sono mwayaona vatisuzga nyengo nyake muza mchiona kuti vantu vakomana uyu warengesikenge kuti vantu vakomane pave vitanda ni boma nichoesi kupemba zikoma.
Ene zinalane ne Zimbabwe Besta mdumbwayi wali kwaphwanyira ipo pano dandaulolane nenda kutika vantu makazira kuzaphwanya pano na kupeleka masiku kuti pano mufumepo tikumpani 2 days mukudandauzana nawo mbwa kutoke 5 days. So dandonda kuti chomeneka para ivo ava vantu 5 days yo yakwana ise ava chali pano vakusupukapo khala palije kwa kuyaso kulije simani kwa kuyambe pano pano. So tukanza kuti boma tiganizire na pa masiku mali kupeleka kwa vantu vizengeso pano zampanga sochongo pano vazamyamba kuti duska pano kachivenge uri boma litovulenge uri pa masiku ali kupeleka pano ndilo pembolane mupembako pano kuboma kuti itovulenge uri hapa
pepani mbunene sonadi kulingana na chipongo ichi chili kutipokerera ise kufuma banyitu ava. So onani pokuona palije ndipo natuvana tudoko na tuzukuru endi tukuiona so tupulika mphepo ndeso ipulikitwa pano watimo kuchezera the all night. So up napemba tiboma ndi yangu akuluviro kulingana tisange uvwiri uwo tingaiza kupisa mama mkati nise zinyama isecha nise bantu chiuti alikutenga kuti tigone mumanyumba notugona kuwalo mukumbo ilo wakumba banyane ili bakumba ibo kufisika nchito yabo iyi. So apa pera apa tiboma ndi yangu yezika kuwapo kulingana ndi unene sonadi ndi badandalira abanyane abadumbane kuti tapiwa masiku achoko olokuba ibo kuti wapiwa masiku akulingana na iyi nchito ya chitikapa kaba ngakwanisa tentiganzira nengeko pepani ndio madando ani nao ona ndepa ndekuzizira sono. So 12 hours the whole night wa mundu ulipa walo unatuvana tudoko pene papo hapo nditaiza kuganizikire waili vichaliko hivi nicho kuganiza.
So you have heard their cries This is a family that a few days ago woke up to a rude shock of their houses, like you've seen from here, being demolished. And then since that particular day, the countdown has continued, and these people are spending nights in the cold. Maybe if you want to see the movements of the leaves, probably you can tell how cold it is here. And this is a family that has children in their midst. And these children have also to brave the cold weather that is being experienced in this area. What they are asking is for government to help shelter them as they brave this problem that has been caused by the Zambia police and their team who came and destroyed these houses. They are saying there was a court order for this family to be evicted from this place. Wherever they want them to go, nobody knows yet, because they are saying they have been here for the rest of their lives, and this is the only place they know as their home. We earlier on visited His Royal Highness Chief Mphamba of the Tumbuka speaking people, because we are reliably informed that this village is in Chief Mphamba's area. And what we have found out from the chief from the earlier conversation is that they are trying to find an alternative, because government through the district commissioner has been engaged to provide a temporal measure as a way of sheltering these people via the disaster management and mitigation unit. But these people here are saying, and they have vowed, that they have nowhere else to go, because all they know is this Muyabala place as their home. When that alternative is coming, when they provide shelter via tents or whatever method will be used by the DMMU, they want those tents to be mounted here so that they continue living here. But their cry is that they want shelter as soon as possible, and also not moving away from this place. And Kanele FM has also found out that if at all this place is in another chiefdom and not as considered now, then it is up to a person to ask for them to either be transferred to that particular chiefdom or go to another chiefdom. Whichever method will be used, we are going to wait and see that happen. But for now, these families here are stranded. They have nowhere to go. They are keeping cattle on the other end, just the very end there. But that crow was also destroyed. What we don't know is where they have taken their cattle to. So there's completely no shelter for them, no shelter for their domestic animals as well. And they are on a journey to meet His Royal Highness Chief Mphamba as a village to share their concerns on this matter tomorrow. Is this how it's gonna end for them? How will the government of the Republic of Zambia come to their rescue? The biggest question that our listeners have been asking is eviction, also demolition? We have never found an answer yet for that question. And the question still begs for a lot of answers. Is eviction demolition? Stephen Nkoma for Kanele FM. God bless you. Bye-bye.